What do you really embrace and love about chiropractic culture? And where do you see room for improvement?
Chiropractic culture?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think that to say chiropractic culture is like to say human culture.
Right. You know? It's so diverse.
Like we were talking about beforehand, I've been to 15 chiropractic colleges in the last year, and we've been to 6 countries with chiropractic for one reason or another in the last year, and it's not the same anywhere I go.
Yeah.
You know, and it is, I wouldn't say defined. I don't like to define the culture, but I would like to throw the thesaurus look at it, you know, and there are comparative languages or words that I would use to describe different places differently. So if you come to Life West, I feel like adaptive growth, dynamic is one example. And I won't label the other schools particularly, but there are schools that I've go to where I don't have that same feeling. It seems more static. It seems more established. Mm-hmm. And whether that's a good or bad thing, I don't play that game, but it is a different vibe in these different areas that you go. And when I say that different vibe, it's like I feel different when I'm in these different places. And one thing I can say is that there is, in every place we've gone, the reason we're going to these places is that we're doing Adjusting Ninjas training camps on campuses or near campuses. And so we know for a fact that if we're going, we don't just show up.
When you say we, you mean you and Brett Jones.
Dr. Brett Jones,
Yeah.
or you know, there's quite a few people who have traveled to help facilitate these camps.
Okay.
Dr. Jordan Fairley, Josh Kaya, Adrian Vialba, Darren Murphy, Mandy Chan. I mean, there's over 150 facilitators for Adjusting Ninjas in the world, and a lot of them coming out of Life West who have been around the Adjusting Ninjas program for years now. It's been in the works and development for 4 or 5 years, and some people have done it every quarter, and now some of them are 13, 14 or graduated, 13 to 14 quarters or graduated. So these people have gone and traveled and helped facilitate those camps as well. But when we go, we don't show up to do a training camp in the middle of nowhere that hasn't expressed interest. And so what we know is that people are hungry for training to develop themselves, and specifically the art of chiropractic. That is not a technique, because I think there's a distinction between an artist and a technician. And a technician can own a technique like a cook can own a recipe. But the chef can run a kitchen.
Right.
And if an ingredient's not there, the chef knows what is going to replace that. And the food is a representation of the chef's humanness. And I think as a chiropractor, you can be a really amazing technician and have a large impact on a community, but I don't think that's the same as a chiropractic artist. And I think that to say the art of chiropractic and then to not honor that there's going to be different techniques, but the art of chiropractic is the embodiment of the chiropractor performing the work. And the Kairos training culture or Adjusting Ninjas or the Artful Chiropractor, these entities and kind of under the umbrella of Kairos training culture, it's a community of people, hundreds of people that are actively facilitating the work, but over 1,000 people who have taken training camps, have had the online module systems, who have trained themselves, are now sending us stories about how different it is for them to have been in their culture of chiropractic, and then to have joined this global Kairos training culture and to experience this same work, maybe even their same technique, but now with the lens of an artist and the freedom to express themselves in different ways. It opens up a whole nother dynamic to a culture. And I'm really grateful to be a part of it. You know, having gone to Europe last spring or whatnot, I think we went to Paris, and then we went to England, and it was at the IFEC College in France, and then at the AECC, the Anglo-European Chiropractic College. Very different perspectives on chiropractic from the institution, and then the student body coming out and training, and the surrounding chiropractors who came in to train. Some of them were looking for something that they thought they were going to find when they got to school, and it wasn't there. Like, I thought we were coming here to deal with health, and we have been learning pathology. Mm-hmm. Where is the health? I thought we were going to come learn how to adjust, and I don't even like to get adjusted anymore because I don't enjoy it. It doesn't feel good. I don't feel healthier doing it. But when we show up and we show them different ways to adjust and different ways to express the art of chiropractic, lights turn on. And then we come home and we give them our 6 month of online modules and our training programs and all the facilitation that goes on online, where we connect them with other schools. To me, it's like neuroplasticity for the culture of chiropractic. You're connecting these little isolated areas of the brain into association areas, and all of a sudden the global culture of chiropractic is starting to connect with the art of chiropractic, not just because we all have the same diagnosis textbook, but it's because, oh wow, you're doing art of chiropractic for the service of humanity. That's what I'm doing too. Wow, yours looks so much different than mine. That's interesting. But even one artist who does paintings is not going to paint two different paintings that look exactly the same, just like two artists are going to paint two different things, and it might look the same, but it'll be slightly different. And the example I give is John Martinez is one of the best adjusters I've ever met and experienced, and he has a hand injury that has not stopped his ability to grow and produce amazing art with his hands. And I mean chiropractic art.
Yeah.
But no one else has that specific injury. No one else is going to have a hand like his, so no other adjustment's going to be like his, even though it's top notch. People can train it, but he just has a different shaped brush.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be slightly different. And I've heard chiropractors getting injured and having to make adaptations, and that is art, man. Like making adaptations either because of your own personal experience and what you think works for you and what helps you embody it, what you enjoy doing the most, while maintaining that effectiveness. And then also you have a unique individual that something is going to work for that person, ideally. And it might just be the thing you're best at. It might be the thing you're most passionate about. It might be the thing that they need the most.
Yeah.
Kelly Slater shows up to surf a wave with like 9 different boards. So
right, like 9 different paint brushes, right, or 9 different knives, depending on what type of artist you are.
Exactly. So
we've got 900 different adjustments depending on what's needed at that moment.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you brought it back to that, because we are all different. We are all individuals, and anytime somebody says to me oh yeah, I tried a chiropractor. It's like, yeah, you may have tried a chiropractor, but you haven't tried me. I'm a unique artist in the way that I express this broader vision of the whole chiropractic family. So.
Yeah, I love that, and I wish that more people had that sense of I'm a unique artist, as well as the respect of the diversity of other artists in our profession.
Yeah.
And that to me that's not just a chiropractic issue. And that's something that I've said in the past, that anything we find that we think is a chiropractic issue is a chiropractic issue and is an issue of humanity at large.
Yeah.
Unity with respect to diversity is something touted by the World Congress of Chiropractic Students, which some schools don't even allow to be on campus for one reason or another. And that message of unity with respect to diversity, the relationships that have been forged, the conversations and the understanding of different perspectives, very different perspectives in some cases, but the respect for each other and the willingness to understand, that is evolution of human consciousness.
Totally.
And I just read Elon Musk's biography. There's a huge section on chiropractic inside of it, which was really cool.
Yeah, the first whole intro.
Yeah,
basically. And
within that intro, it talked about him as a teenager and his mission that he developed as a youngster, already talking about it only makes sense for us to stop focusing on answers and start asking better questions. And in order to ask better questions, I think we need to be evolving human consciousness. So it only makes better sense to evolve the global, collaborative human consciousness in order for us to ask better questions. That is when he was a teenager, that was his mission.
And it still seems representative.
Seems like
he's
it.
Doing
Yeah.
these days. Yeah.
And that to me is what I wish, not even what I wish, that is what I embody in chiropractic. That is my mission in chiropractic, is unity with respect to diversity. Not because it's just chiropractic, because I think as chiropractors do that, we will evolve and we will hold our communities to higher standards by leading by example in respecting the diversity of every human that comes into contact with us, regardless of whether they have differing opinions, differing beliefs, differing techniques, all of that kind of stuff. When you respect it, you learn more about it, and when you learn more about others, you learn more about yourself. Dan Murphy has this term called psychosclerosis, the hardening of your mind.
Of your mind, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that when we can maintain that semi-permeable membrane and still like have some barriers to protect our identity and our beliefs, but allow some things to diffuse in and out to continue to grow and learn more about our world.
Yeah,
I think
and I
that's what we
find
learn.
the more centered you are in your own principles, in your own beliefs, actually the more permeable you are, like the more able you are to allow differing influences and allow different experiences. But actually when your core values and your core center is not strong and rooted, then you tend to be a little bit more rigid and not want to let other things in because you don't feel really centered in your own beliefs and values. So.
Yeah, one side of the spectrum or the other. You're so rigid that you don't move, or you're so scattered that nothing can hold on to you. Like you have no foundation for anyone. When you have that biotensegrity, to me, is one of the most stable and movable structures in nature, like the human body. You know, that to me is it's a principle.
So being able to have compression and structure with tension and distributing that proximal stability of your principles before distal mobility of going and finding new information.
Exactly.
I think that's a principle of the body, it's a principle of the mind, it's life.